right, so Curry County Public Transit Service Budget Meeting. And we'll start by Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone, and it's good to get this going this week. So, any adjustments to the agenda at all? Or did you have something that?
So I might have a comment some point in time, short comment, but no, I did not.
Nothing related to adjusting the agenda at all, time-wise, the meeting this morning or something?
Oh, excuse me, that's this afternoon, so I should be okay. Thanks for reminding me. Very important call.
All right.
Much appreciated.
Very well then, let's get started. Are you ready? All right.
Don't forget to adjust the microphone. Pull that one down there a little bit.
There you go.
Good morning. Can you hear me? I'm Kathy Bernhardt. I'm the general manager of Curry Public Transit, which is the only public transit operating in Curry County. And I'm here today to let you know what you and we do together, because we are a partner. Curry County Public Transit District works with Curry County, which works with Curry Public Transit. So I've handed out some informational sheets about what type of funding we actually get. And I don't know if anybody knows what we do, but do you mind if I review it? Okay. So we are funded by federal and state funding. The federal government provides 4 or 5 different types of funds that are all competitive. One is the 5310, which is called the Enhanced Mobility of Seniors and Individuals with Disability. And we get that every year, and it supports our dial-a-ride and our special services for seniors and those with disabilities. We get the 5311 formula funds, which are kind of ODOT decides how much they give us on those. That supports our Coastal Express and general operations. And this year, we also have COVID expenses in there. The 5339 funds are a competitive bus and bus facilities infrastructure program, and that's for replacement or new vehicles. And then 5305 is planning grants, and that's for the required long-term and short-term plans that we all have to have in order to go forward. Under state government, right now we have the Special Transportation Fund and then the Statewide Transportation Improvement Fund, and those two are going to merge next year. And those, the Statewide Transportation Improvement Fund is funded by a payroll tax. 0.001% of your payroll goes into that, and it funds just about every transit in Oregon. And that has been a huge boon to us because it allowed us to expand services. We have to provide a plan before we get these funds, telling ODOT how we're going to spend them. And this year, I think our spending plan was to increase service in Gold Beach and in Port Orford dial-a-ride, and to expand I'm trying to remember what we did, expand to Saturday services, and then to do some infrastructure repairs on our new building. Then there's the TGM Transit and Growth Management, which is a supplemental grant that corresponds with the 5309 planning, and it just helps us in case we go with overruns on the planning grants. So the way all those work is all of these grants that we apply for, that we get, actually go to the transit district first. The transit district passes it down to the county approves the funding and then passes the funds through to us. We have been trying to get more money out of those funds to pay the county for that service, but right now we're still very limited. I'm hoping that'll change at the next biennium. But you get $2,000 out of the STF, Transportation Fund, a year to help pay for the audits. Not nearly enough, I know. The responsibilities The Curry County Commissioners have to approve all of our grants. The district actually owns all the rolling stock and lets us use them. You sign everything. You have to appoint members to our Curry County Transit Advisory Committee. And then if we have any extra funding we bring them to you too for approval. Then we, as a nonprofit, Curry County Transit, Inc., we run all of the operations for all of the public transportation in Curry County. And right now, that includes a Coastal Express that runs from Smith River to North Bend 3 times a day, Monday through Friday. A Dial-A-Ride that runs Monday through Friday in Brookings, and a Dial-A-Ride in Gold Beach that runs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. We also are responsible for dealing with the community services that use our transportation. We sell them at discounted prices tickets so that they can hand them out to the people that need them. We also provide non-emergency medical transport when requested. And we provide free services to veterans going to have an appointment at the vet clinic, to children. And then also we have a service that deals with the food bank in Brookings, where you go to the food bank, pick up your food, they give them a ticket to get back home and then one to get back there. So that's a free service. Our nonprofit board of directors they're my boss. They're responsible for providing all the public trade and transportation and for making sure that I'm doing it right. They also oversee all the preparation of everything that we do for the reimbursement request for the pass-through. Any questions on that?
I have one question.
Brad?
Yes.
Is it on the STF grant, is it possible to negotiate a higher amount of admin fees?
No, it was
That's
written
just-
into law that way.
Okay.
When they joined that grant to the STIF, there has been a lot of requests for us to be able to put a request in for reimbursement for audits and other expenses. I have not heard yet whether that's going to happen because they're still in the process of doing that. I'm trying. I've been trying for 6 years to get you guys more money.
All right.
But we kind of have our hands tied. These grants they're pretty much written in stone.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one is this large sheet here. This is my worksheet on what we are awarded and what we actually have received as reimbursement. And it's pretty self-explanatory. The grant name and what it does is on the left-hand side. The periods vary. Most of them are 2-year, 21 to 23. The total biennium is for the entire 2 years. So we try to split the costs that we reimburse ourselves for this evenly so that we don't run out of money at the end of the year. We have some special funding right now for COVID expenses. Right now, we're offering all of our drivers a 20% hazard pay increase in their pay. And I've been telling the drivers to not get used to it because I can't guarantee it's sustainable. But we just heard that there's another COVID grant coming out that I can apply for by May 1st. That'll sustain that for another 2 years. And hopefully by then, we can write those increases into the STIF grant. Our drivers are gold. Without them, we would be nowhere. And we would like to pay them more than McDonald's. Let's see, is there any questions on the funding on here?
Oh, ma'am.
So the orange on the very last one is the balances left in those individual funds. There is one at the very bottom called 5339 in buses. That was given to us in 2020. We ordered those buses at the end of the grant period thinking that would be perfectly fine. And then we got told, oh, by the way, it takes 1.5 years to create buses anymore. So although we have 7 of the 8 buses that we requested, we're not going to see them, not probably till January, February 23. So we are in the sad process of trying to keep our buses going. And we just had a transmission go out. We've had the expenses for repairing buses right now. It's going to be difficult. So we might squeak by this year. Okay. Anything else?
No, very well done.
Thank you.
Kathy, go ahead. Me first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Commissioner Herzog, you
Okay,
had your hand up first.
Thank you, Brad. Well, I just want to say I'm Kathy's liaison commissioner, and she is just a pleasure to work with. And I'm telling you, we have to get into this Optus website. It's a state.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
No.
So I know that when I first started, that was like the other commissioners like, hey, we'll give him this one. But we do it, and the hard part about Optus is you don't do it a lot. So yeah, I have to retrain myself every couple months to get
It's
into
every
it.
3
but
months, yeah.
She is just a pleasure and a joy to work with, and so
Thank you.
I just thank you.
I've
for
been
what you
doing it
do.
for a while. I've been with Curry Public Transit for 15 years. And I've been manager for, about 6 years now. And I stepped into some pretty big shoes, because Joanne Wasbauer was our original manager.
Yeah.
And she brought transit from literally zero to what it is today. Right now, we are so fortunate that we have about a year and a half of surplus money, of operations money. If these grants go away, we can still go down. But we are a nonprofit, so that all has to be spent in the form that it needs to be spent, so. But yes, thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you.
good to work with. Court was good to work with.
We're competing to see who's gonna be your favorite commissioner, by the way.
Well-
No competition.
Well, you always do a great presentation, that's for sure. Very,
Thank you.
very thorough and complete. Mr. Schreiber?
I just had a question. So how many people are actually on payroll?
We have, we just did a class yesterday. We have 17 on payroll. My dispatcher and I are the only full-timers. Everybody else is a part-timer. We don't believe that you should drive a bus 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. So most everybody else is 30 hours, more or less. So we do have,
Have you been able to retain drivers during this whole time?
no, we've lost,
Pretty tough.
unfortunately, one driver passed away from COVID. One driver now is out with COVID, and we have been having a heck of a time finding new people to bring on board. I have been advertising for 2 solid years, and we have not had a new driver. I need one more driver if I'm going to open up the Port Orford dial-a-ride, which is my next big plan.
Do you pretty much, to be a driver, you have to be based in South County or?
Depends on where the thing is. For the Port Orford dial-a-ride, they can be in Gold Beach or Port Orford. We do hire people out of Coos Bay because we have a service that comes down from Coos Bay and then meets our service. And then we have drivers based in Brookings. So they're all over the counties.
Mr. Boyce?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Real quick, you mentioned one of your facilities needed maintenance.
Yes,
Give
we
just some more
just-
detail on that for the public.
We 2 years ago, just before COVID, we purchased the old medical building on Alder Street behind Dairy Queen, and it was built in 1975. So we knew when we purchased it, we got a really good deal on it, and the nonprofit actually purchased it. It belongs to the nonprofit, not to the county. But we planned into our planning that we needed to have heating and air conditioning replaced, because that's at least 20 years old. And the siding, one of the contractors who looked at it actually could put a screwdriver through the siding. So it was wooden siding. So right now we are having a contractor take off the siding and put on hardy plank all the way around. And it's been an interesting job because there's actually 2 layers of siding and both of them are rotten. And we've discovered quite a bit of structural damage. So I'm glad we're doing it now rather than wait.
Thank you. Also, did you do this spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Boy, that's amazing.
That's my
great work.
job.
Thank you. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Anyway, anything else? Well, I hope you pass our budget. We really appreciate what you do for us, and we really like working with all of you, so. And we hope that we can increase our services to be even better than what we're doing now.
Smith River to North Bend.
Smith River to North Bend 3 times a day, Monday through Friday. Hopefully, we'll get the Saturday back on, but we're waiting to see what CCAT does with their ongoing Saturday service up to Florence. So,
All right. Thank you, Kathy, appreciate it.
thank you. Anything else?
I don't think so. All right. Thank you. So on the agenda, we do have a public comment right now. Would you like to make your comment now?
Sure.
You bet.
Then I'm gonna leave.
Thank you.
Hi, Kathy.
I've been a writer's strike 19 years now.
So, because we're in the Curry Public Transit budget meetings, Mary, you said that this doesn't have to deal with public transit, so maybe we should wait till we open up the county's discussions before hearing the comments.
How long might that be, though?
Starts at 9:30.
Okay.
So once this part of it gets wrapped up, then we'll start the county at 9:30.
But public comments are at the end of the agenda.
And you guys can change that.
There are, but there is an exception to this case. All right then, any discussion, recommendations on our schedule? And if there's nothing, we will adjourn the Curry County Public Transit Service District Budget meeting.
One thing,
And-
Brad, because this is the only discussion for the public transit district, I think the committee needs to make a recommendation to approve or not approve the budget. Is that right, Anthony?
It might be a good time, just take care of it, then we don't have to worry about it later, or you could,
I think we did it at the end last time, but we can do it now.
However you want. I don't
Yeah,
remember
it's
how
Not on the agenda, but we can do it now if that.
will make everything move more quickly.
You're the boss.
All right, well, then if there is a recommendation or a motion, we would certainly entertain it.
I'll make a motion, we approve transit district budget for 2022-23.
I'll second that motion.
JJ, call the question.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0 with one absent.
Thank you, JJ. All right, that will conclude public transit, and we will move right into our Curry County Board of Commissioners Budget Committee meeting. We have already done the Pledge of Allegiance, so is there any amendment